Good morning, friends. On the today's lecture, we are going to start the insurance business in India. It is nothing but the history about the insurance in the Indian economy. In the last lecture, we study about what is the insurance is all about, where the coverage is given to that insurer person for his life or for his valuable goods. Now we are going with what is the history actually, why the need of insurances arises, and what was the main agenda behind the evolution of insurance in India. Okay, the insurance in the India is began at the time of 1870. Guys, you know our India was ruled by British East India Company. After that, the British government only, and the East India Company असो तिथं किंवा British राजवट असो तिथं, they came for the India for the trade purpose only. For the import and export, they entered into India, and whenever they are engaged into the import export, they require the insurance, they require some compensation if the losses are arise. काही जर तोटा झाला तर तिथं आपल्याला काहीतरी कॉम्पन्सेशन मिळालं पाहिजे, या हेतूनं दे स्टार्टेड द इन्शुरन्स बिझनेस ॲट द टाइम ऑफ 1870. The insurance in the India is began in the history of 1870. The first policy issued was 1870 by the European and Albert. The first Indian insurance company was the Bombay Mutual Assurance Society. Means, guys, you have to focus on that. The first insurance was started for the trade purpose only, for the coverage or the compensation regarding the losses are arise due to the transportation, or you can say the import export करताना, कारण you know mostly for the transportation we use the water source, and in the water source there are many काय आपण म्हणू शकतो की संकट, मेनी नॅचरल कंडिशन्स ऑर द मॅनमेड प्रॉब्लेम्स आर अरायजेस, लाईक तुम्हाला माहीतच आहे की समुद्रामध्ये सुनामी लाटा येऊ शकतात, किंवा तिचं ब्रोकेज ऑफ कार्गो असू शकतो, पेरिल्स येऊ शकतात, वादळ येऊ शकतात, किंवा पॅरेट्स असतात. पॅरेट्स इन द सेन्स की लुटेरेसुद्धा असतात तिथं की जे शिप्स लुटतात. तर असे जे काही प्रॉब्लेम्स त्यावेळेससुद्धा त्यांना अराईज होत होते, अँड टू कवर फ्रॉम दॅट लॉसेस they started insurance for the whatever the stock they are exporting, right? The first Indian insurance company was the Bombay Mutual Assurance Society, formed in 1870. Regarding our lecture, you have to note down the basic key points, because your examination pattern is totally based upon the objective. So that question will be asked for your MCQ examination regarding diploma course in banking and finance. So you have to note down that. Okay, as the Swadeshi movement was catching up, by the more Indians companies were formed. जेव्हा स्वदेशीची चळवळ सुरू झाली त्याच्यानंतर मात्र इंडियन कंपनीज एस्टॅब्लिश व्हायला सुरू झाल्या, कारण तेव्हा त्यांच्याही मालाला तिथं कॉम्पन्सेशन मिळालं पाहिजे. द इन्शुरन्स कंपनी वेअर नॅशनलाइज्ड इन 1956. After independence, you know, the LIC was established. Okay, and it was nationalized in 1956. There were 170 insurance company and 75 provident fund security which merged and on 1 September 1956 into LIC was born. म्हणजे त्याच्या आधी आपण जे बोलतो आहोत की LIC इन्शुरन्स सेक्टर हा चालू झालेला होता फॉर गिविंग द कॉम्पन्सेशन फॉर द स्टॉक विच इज इम्पोर्टेड अँड exported. And after independence, number of companies are arise. After Swadeshi movement, number of Indian companies were established, and they came together on a 1st September 1956, and it is merged into the one institution is nothing but the Life Insurance Corporation of India was born in. The establishment year is very much important regarding examination, so you have to note down. The next one is what is the history in India. In 1993, the Malhotra committee headed former the RBI governor R.N. Malhotra was appointed. This committee submitted the report year later and recommendation of privatization. एक लक्षात घ्या की 1956 ला LIC ही फर्स्ट तिथं बॉर्न झालेली इन्स्टिट्यूट होती विच आर प्रोव्हाइडिंग द इन्शुरन्स फॉर द लाईफ कॉम्पन्सेशन, राईट. कारण पूर्वी जेव्हा इन्शुरन्स स्टार्ट झाला तेव्हा काय झालं, सोसायटीतले काही मेंबर्स एकत्र यायचे, काही कॉन्ट्रीब्यूट करायचे, आणि इफ देअर इज लॉसेस आर अराइज इन द फ्युचर रिगार्डिंग इम्पोर्ट एक्सपोर्ट ऑर एनी लाईफ एक्सपेक्टन्सी, देन वॉट एव्हर द फंड इज कलेक्टेड फ्रॉम देम इट इज गिव्हन टू दॅट पर्टिक्युलर सफर पर्सन, म्हणजे सफररला ते पैसे द्यायचे. इट इज नथिंग बट द कॉम्पन्सेशन. अशा आहे ना हा बिझनेस स्टार्ट झालेला होता. बट आफ्टर 1991 यू नो वी अडॉप्टेड लिबरलायझेशन, ग्लोबलायझेशन अँड प्रायव्हेटायझेशन, अँड ड्यू टू दॅट Due to that, number of private companies entered in the market, but their regulator is IRDA. बिकॉज काय झालं लक्षात घ्या की इन्शुरन्स बिझनेस एस्टॅब्लिश झाले, परंतु त्यांना कंट्रोल करायला ऑथॉरिटीज नव्हती. आलं लक्षात, त्यांनी कुठले रूल्स फॉलो केले पाहिजेत. बिकॉज यू आर ॲक्सेप्टिंग द प्रीमियम फ्रॉम द पॉलिसी होल्डर, देन यू शुड लायबल फॉर द थिंग्स विच इज बेनिफिशियल फॉर दॅट पर्टिक्युलर कस्टमर, अँड हेन्स the you can say the apex authority or the regulator was appointed in the 1999, that is IRDA. Again I am repeating what is the history of insurance in India. In the 1993, the Malhotra committee headed by former RBI, that is RN Malhotra, was appointed. This committee submitted the report, and one letter on the recommendation of privatization of insurance business were done. The Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority thus came into being, now regulator all the insurance business in India. Whether it is private or public, it is regulated by IRDA. IRDA means the Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of India. Next one is the, currently there are 23 players in the India. You can see the regulators, the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, the law which is regulated in the business, the Insurance Act 1938. एक लक्षात घ्या, इन्शुरन्स बिझनेसचा फर्स्ट ॲक्ट जो इंडियामध्ये झालेला होता, इट वॉज द इन्शुरन्स ॲक्ट 1938. इट इज फॉर द ट्रेड पर्पज ओनली. द इन्शुरन्स रेग्युलेटरी डेव्हलपमेंट ऑथॉरिटी ऑफ इंडिया ॲक्ट 1999 was passed, and LIC corporation was act in 1956. Then general business nationalization in the 1972. एक लक्षात घ्या की लाईफ सोडून ज्या गोष्टींचा तुम्ही इन्शुरन्स घेता, वेदर इट इज ऑफ युअर मोबाईल, ऑफ अ हाऊस, कार, एनी व्हॅल्युएबल्स, देन इट इज लाईज अंडर द टायटल ऑफ जनरल इन्शुरन्स. इट वॉज एस्टॅब्लिश्ड इन द 1975. The limit of the foreign direct investment in the Indian insurance business is up to the 26%, but now it is increased up to the 49%. Now in this slide you can see also the evaluation of the insurance business in India. Let me start again. What is the evaluation? In 1890, the Oriental Life Insurance Company was the first insurance company in the India. So it started functioning. भारतामध्ये पहिल्याच सुरुवात झालेली ही सगळ्यात मोठी कंपनी ओरिएंटल लाईफ इन्शुरन्स. In 1870, the Bombay Mutual Life Assurance Society, in the first Indian life insurance company, was started their business. In the 1912, the Indian Life Assurance Company Act enacted the first salute the regulate the life insurance in the business. म्हणजे एक लक्षात घ्या, तेव्हा IRDA was not a regulator. It was established in the 1999. But before that, in the 1912, the India's Life Assurance Company Act enacted as the first salute to regulate the life insurance. In the 1938, the earlier legislation consolidated and amended by the Assurance Act with the objective of protecting the interest of insuring public. एक लक्षात घ्या, when you are engaged into the life insurance, you are accepting, whether it is life or general, you are accepting the premium, so you should take care about the interest of the customer. You should undertake you should follow the interest of the customer. Okay, the next one is in 1956, the 245 Indian foreign insurer, you can see in the slide as well, I am zoom it, foreign insurer and provident societies are covered by the central government and the nationalized in the Parliament Act, and hence the LIC was established. In the previous slide we studied about that LIC was established, 270 companies was merged into it. Actually the 270 company, it is the previous data, so it is a 245 given there, but actually the 270 companies merged together and formed the LIC. Similarly, in the 1972, the 107 general insurance company nationalized through the passing the General Insurance Business Act in 1975. Always remember the years, because that years will be asked for the examination. 1956 ला LIC ची स्थापना झाली आहे with the help of 270 companies, and 1972 ला GIC ची स्थापना झाली आहे with the help of 107 GICs. Okay, the existing 107 insurance were amalgamated and grouped into the 5 companies, that is National Insurance Company, New India Assurance Company, Oriental Insurance Company, United India Assurance Company and the General Insurance Corporation. ह्या 5 भागांमध्ये या कंपन्या विभागल्या गेलेल्या आहेत. This the LIC is the insurance industry is transforming into the monopoly and monopolistic state and the public sector insurance industry in the India. Always remember, the LIC is the major public taking insurance company in the India. Apart from that, there are number of private companies are there who are providing the life insurance, but the LIC is the major player, right? The next one is the regulatory body. In the last lecture, in the last slide, we are also focusing on the regulatory body, that is IRDA. IRDA was enacted as per the Act of 1999, Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of India, and it is you can say it is the regulatory authority, whether it is private or public. Now in this slide you can see which are the major players in the list of insurance company. One is the National Insurance Cooperative Limited, New India Insurance Company Limited, Oriental Insurance Company is related, and the India Insurance Company Limited, right? Which are the private, you heard about it, you saw the many advertisement regarding it. Is the Bajaj Allianz is there, LIC, ICICI, L&T, Tata AIG, and IFFCO, Tokyo. These are the private players. Now which are the major players in the life insurance company? Because after 1991 we are government provide the license for the private company regarding to the insurance, and hence you have to follow or you have to focus on the major private players in the economy. One is the Bajaj Allianz, Birla Sun Life, HDFC Standard, ICICI Prudential, Max New York, SBI Life Insurance, Tata AIG, Reliance, after that Kodak, and the Bharti AXA. The major player in the general insurance, you heard about it, like agriculture insurance is also there, Bajaj Allianz is there. In this slide again we are going to focus on what is the growth of insurance sectors. From 1912 we started with the 1838, but when we studied about the recent era, what is the growth of insurance sector globally? The share of life insurance business is totally, the premium was 56.8%. However, the share of insurance business in the Asian region was the 28.9%. For India, the share of life insurance business of the totally insured business was very high. It is the 88.2%, while the share of non-life insurance business was smallest, is the 19.8%. म्हणजे थोडक्यात एक लक्षात ठेवायचं आहे की इन्शुरन्स बिझनेसमध्ये जो लाईफ इन्शुरन्सचा बिझनेस आहे हा ग्रेट चालतो, ज्यामध्ये 80.2% ग्रोथ तुम्हाला तिथं दिसते. आणि जो काही जनरल इन्शुरन्स आहे, मग वेदर इट इज ऑफ द मोटर, हेल्थ, और यू कॅन से हाऊस और द व्हॅल्युएबल्स, त्याचा शेअर जो काही आहे तो 19.8% आहे, नियर अबाउट 20. In the life insurance business, the India ranked 10 amongst the 88 country. Can you imagine? Means how many people are prefer to purchase the life insurance? Because the main agenda behind the purchase the life insurance is to provide the coverage to the family members. Okay. For the data published by the Swiss during the 1912, the life insurance premium in the India is declined by 6.9%. During the same period, the global life insurance premium increased by the 2.3%. However, the share of Indian non-life insurance premium in the global non-life insurance premium was as small as the 0.66. जसं मी तुम्हाला सांगितलेलं आहे की नॉन लाईफ इन्शुरन्स जे काही आहे, ज्यामध्ये तुम्ही GIC मोजता, तर ह्या GICच्या बाबतीत पीपल आर नॉट दॅट मच अवेअर्ड. ओके, ड्यू टू द गव्हर्नमेंट रूल्स दे हॅव टू डू द कंपल्सरी इन्शुरन्स ऑफ देअर व्हेकल्स अँड सम अदर गुड्स, बट त्याच्यामध्ये सुद्धा अजूनही लोकांना अवेअरनेस नाही आहे की नॉन लाईफ इन्शुरन्स घ्यावा, आणि त्यामुळं द शेअर ऑफ नॉन लाईफ इन्शुरन्स इन द इंडियन इकॉनॉमी इज जस्ट 20%. अँड इफ यू consider, if you compare it with the global era, then it is just a 0.6%, means it is not a 1% as well. Means with the help of that data, with the help of that growth structure, you can easily analyze the general insurance having too much potential to cover the population. The insurance sector in India, issues and challenges was, first of all, the LIC and the GIC is the public undersector taking, you can say the major players in the market, but even they are facing the too much problems. Like the insurance sector in the public sector in the still dominated after the event decade opening the doors to this sector. This situation does put some burden on the private sector company to innovate and differentiate themselves so that they could have the better share in the market. एक लक्षात घ्या की अजूनही लोकांचा एक ट्रस्ट जो काही आहे तो LIC आणि GIC वर आहे. सो दे जे बाकीचे प्रायव्हेट प्लेयर्स आहेत दे हॅव टू मेक अ एफर्ट टू सस्टेन इन द मार्केट. कारण कसं होतं बऱ्याच वेळेस मार्केटमध्ये सस्टेन राहायचं म्हणलं की लोकांचा एक विश्वास जो काही असतो तो पब्लिक सेक्टर अंडरटेकिंग्सवर असतो. सो दे आर नॉट प्रिफरिंग द प्रायव्हेट अँड हेन्स they have to diversify their policy to attract the customer. Here mentioned that this is the situation does put some burden on private sector due to the public sector's institution having the great trust by the society. Private companies facing too much problem, even they having the beneficial product, right guys? If you compare the private with the public, the private gives you the more benefit as compared to the public sector, but still they are facing because the people are always prefer the public sector undertaking company rather than a private. This all about the insurance history in Indian economy. You can see, you can repeat it, you can read it, and you have to note down the points regarding it. When it was first established, what was the main agenda, when the LIC was established by the merging of 270s company. Again I am repeating here, the previous data is given, that is 245. Actually the 270 companies were merged at the time of 1956 and LIC formed. And regarding GIC, 107 companies merged together and formed the GIC in the 1972. Okay, we will stop here. On the next lecture, on the tomorrow's lecture, we are going to study what is the nature of insurance. Thank you so much.